For today's video, I am going to be testing out Jones Road Beauty for the first time. I have a variety of the products. The brand was super kind to send these my way, but this video is not sponsored. It is not in collaboration, meaning I am not being paid to make this video. But I did want to put a disclaimer out there that these products were kindly gifted to me. But as always, opinions are always my own. I'm going to be honest with you. My goal is to help you with the content that I create. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So I'm going to start off with their What the Foundation. I have this in the shade Fair, and this is supposed to be kind of like a tinted balm, I believe. I am looking on their website and it says What the Foundation is a tinted moisture balm meets traditional foundation. It's supposed to blend seamlessly into the skin, and you definitely kind of have to remember that this is a tint. From what I've seen online from this is that it's not going to give a lot of coverage. Now this does have a relatively pretty obvious scent in here. Smell might also just be from just some of the like oils that they use in here. So this is supposed to blend seamlessly into the skin, leaving you with an even fresh complexion that looks like your skin on its best day. I do love a foundation that's gonna look really healthy and look like my skin, but just kind of even out the skin tone a little bit. So I'm hoping that that is what this is going to do. It offers buildable light medium coverage. Okay, so there we go. It says that it can potentially get to medium coverage, so we will see. And it says it comes in 12 shades. Again, I have this in the shade Fair. So you're supposed to use your fingers or the spatula to take out how much ever you want. This is the little spatula that you can use. Honestly, I feel like on a normal basis, like this is the kind of thing that I would lose track of. And I mean, you would have to clean this too. So I feel like the whole point of a spatula is supposed to be more hygienic than using your fingers. But just an everyday person, being honest, I would probably just use my fingers and just make sure that I wash my hands well before I use it. But it is pretty and it's cute. It makes you feel kind of fancy. One of the main ingredients in here is sodium hyaluronate. So hyaluronic acid is supposed to help with, you know, keeping some moisture in the skin. This does have castor oil in here, which is a pretty thick oil, so I'm very curious how heavy this is going to feel on the skin. Caprylic, capric, triglyceride. So yeah, I don't see any added fragrance in here, so I believe the scent that I'm smelling is just from all of the oils. They say you can apply it directly to your face using their brush, their skin brush. This is that brush, or you could use a sponge or your fingers. So I'm gonna kind of test using it with the brush. I don't know if I just applied way too much or not. All right, so I'm gonna start with this amount using their Everything brush. It's a really nice, soft, dense brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of start dabbing this in. I can definitely see that this is gonna be a light coverage, which is what they say. Light to medium coverage is what it's supposed to give. Honestly, I almost feel like it's blending away into a point where it does not look like it gave any coverage at all. But it's also kind of like giving a little bit of like a pretty glow to my skin in a way. Nothing like overly dewy, but I feel like it's giving a little tiny bit of like a healthy look to the skin. It almost looks like I just applied a little bit of like skincare maybe. I don't know if the brush just absorbed all of the product or that's just, you know, the amount of coverage you're gonna get. I know it's supposed to be a light coverage. I'm gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna try to blend it in with my fingers, just kind of see the difference. It almost has like, when you're using your fingers, you can kind of feel the texture of this. It almost has like a gritty texture. I feel like I'm getting like slightly more coverage just using my fingers. It almost feels like there's little like, but actually you can tell from looking in the actual foundation, there's kind of like little specks, but there's a little bit of grittiness to the texture. I've also applied now like 2 layers on this side, and you know, castor oil is a really thick oil, and I don't know if that's, it might be that and then the combination of some of the other oils in here, but it does feel like somewhat heavy. If I applied 1 layer, it would feel a lot less heavy, but I can definitely like feel this on my skin, and almost feels like I applied like a thick moisturizer. It doesn't feel overly heavy, but I can definitely feel it, which, I mean, it's not like a bad thing, but just something to note about how it feels. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go back in with the brush, and I'm just gonna, I feel like dabbing it in normally gives me more coverage, which it definitely does. I can see it's giving a little bit more coverage when I dab it in rather than like brush it in. Definitely is, I would say, a little bit more coverage, but still I would say this is on the light side. I really don't feel like I can say that this gives medium coverage. I know that also kind of can depend on the person, because for example, I do have like post acne marks, so for me, you know, that takes a little bit more where I feel like it can get medium coverage. because I do have kind of more to cover up, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would definitely say this is a light coverage. It does look pretty on the skin. Their claim saying that it's gonna look still like your skin, I definitely can agree with that. It does look very pretty. Again, barely looks like I applied like any product. Maybe it evened out my skin tone a little bit. You guys let me know. I definitely say it gave a light coverage, and my skin, it has a nice glow to it. Definitely kind of gives that like healthy look to the skin. If you love a no makeup look, this might be something that you would like. If you have dry skin and you want a foundation that's gonna feel nourishing to the skin, this might be something that you would like. Now, I do have combination skin. My skin has been more on the dry side right now during the winter, but in the summer, I feel like this would potentially be something that I might not want to use, because it definitely is like really nourishing feeling, because it does have all of those oils in here. It doesn't feel too heavy right now when my skin is more dry, but the texture is definitely more like thick and heavy than what I would normally go for. If you have oily skin, I feel like, you know, you might still want some nourishment and something that's going to keep your skin nice and moisturized, but at the same time, you might find it to be a bit too heavy, especially like in the summer. For your under eyes, they recommend to use their face pencil. So that's kind of like their little like concealer stick. I don't have that. I really wanted to try that, but I don't have that, so won't be able to feature that in the video today. I would like to kind of conceal my under eyes here, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and use another concealer, because I do want to get a little bit of coverage on my under eyes and then a little bit maybe on some spots on my face. All right, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Rose Ink concealer. I'm just going to take just a little bit of this under my eyes and just kind of apply it to a few spots that I'd like a little bit of coverage, somewhere I have like those post-acne marks. And I'm just going to blend it in with the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. So now with that all applied, also like I feel like with time going by, as this foundation sits on my face, I almost feel like it's starting to feel heavier and look more oily. So I feel like it's something where I would want to apply a bit of a powder, but for the sake of this video and just showing you how these products look just with themselves, besides the fact that I just applied that other concealer, I'm not going to set it with a powder right now, just so you guys can keep seeing what the foundation looks like with their other products applied on top. Next, their Miracle Balm. So I have two of the shades. I have the shade Magic Hour, which is kind of this like bronzy shade, and then I also have the shade Flush, which is this pink shade. To be completely honest, when I was kind of looking into the brand and looking at their products, the Miracle Balm was actually one of the products that I kind of wanted to skip on, just because I really didn't think it would work for my skin, because what I've seen is that it's a thick product. I mean, given the name, it's a balm, so it's going to be kind of like a thicker product, and it's not going to give a lot of pigment, but it's just going to kind of add like a subtle sheen of whatever color you get. So I'm going to just attempt though to use this shade Magic Hour, kind of like a bronzer, but what you have to do is you kind of have to like break the seal, so really like work your finger into the product to kind of break into it. And again, this is kind of like a thick, gritty, almost like feels slightly like an exfoliant skincare product when you're like breaking into the product. It has definitely like a bit of that grittiness to it, and it feels quite thick. I do have acne prone skin, so just having something that thick can sometimes, I feel like, kind of clog the pores, sometimes cause some congestion. So that's why I was like a little bit hesitant about testing out the Miracle Balm, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. So again, this is the shade Magic Hour, and this is described as a cool sheer bronze with silver shimmer for light to medium dark skin. And this is supposed to be the secret to a no makeup look. A wash of soft focused moisture to perfect and enhance the skin. A light reflecting super product. Wear Miracle Balm alone or layer on top of foundation for an instant refresh. Miracle Balm is not intended to be used on the eyes or eyelids. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this product. I'm just gonna kind of like add it to the areas where I'd want to bronze. Oof, I do not know how I'm gonna feel about this, you guys, just because it's pretty thick. I'm just gonna take this brush. This is from the brand Merit, and I'm just gonna kind of dab this in. I almost feel like the brush just kind of ate that up, so I don't know if that did anything. Okay, there, I feel like that definitely added some color. That is pretty. I will say that is pretty. It definitely gives like a natural sheen. Definitely gonna be great for that no makeup look. I can say building up these products with the foundation and now the Miracle Balm, it's It's definitely starting to feel heavier on my skin. Like my skin's definitely starting to feel like I have like a decent amount of oil on it. So I'm just taking a little bit more on the brush though, because I do kind of want to build up this a little bit more just to get a little bit more color. Maybe you could kind of use this as like a base before foundation to kind of give your skin like a bronzy glow. So there's that blended in. I will say that is very pretty. It's gonna give you, I feel like this would be good for like a glass skin look. Again, you know, the no makeup look. It does look pretty, but it does feel kind of heavy. And I'm trying to go in just lightly with it so I'm not applying too much product. But I also feel like I have to apply a bit of product in order to actually get a little bit of color payoff. I really would love to try their powder bronzer. I feel like that would probably work much better for my skin type. Prone to acne, I feel like that would just potentially work a lot better for me. So I would love to try that. If any of you guys have tried their powder bronzer, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I also really want to try their powder blush. Again, I think it's just going to work much better for me than the Miracle Balms. Anyway, now going into the shade Flushed. Again, in the Miracle Balm, just gonna kind of break the seal and really warm up the product on my fingers. This one doesn't feel gritty like the bronzer one does. This one just feels smooth and creamy. So I'm just gonna tap a little bit onto my cheeks. This color is very pretty. I'm gonna take my sponge to blend this in, and Flush is described as a cool pink with a subtle sheen and sheer to buildable coverage for all skin tones. That does look really pretty, and blending it in with the sponge works really well. Again, just layering this kind of like balm on top of everything is definitely, again, like you just feel it on your skin. But again, like I mean, my skin looks really pretty. It looks really healthy. But again, I think I would want to like apply a little bit of a powder at the end. So you can definitely see it's definitely pretty sheer. It's gonna be a very natural little kind of flush of pink. But you can add a little bit more if you want to build up the pigment a little bit. I want to build it up a little bit more just because I do want a little bit more pigment. I do love blush, so I really like to put on the blush. But with this product, I don't want to apply too much just because, you know, I don't want it to get too heavy feeling. I definitely think I would prefer their powder blush over this, again, just because of my skin type. But I do think that some people might enjoy this, especially if you have dry skin. I feel like if you have dry skin, a lot of these products might be something that you would like just because they are quite moisturizing. I'm looking glowy, I'm looking healthy, just kind of having that lit from within glow. That does look nice. But I feel like on a summer day, if I were gonna try to wear this in the summer, I think I'd probably just look like a grease ball in a couple of hours. Of course, you could set it with some powder and that would help a little bit, but even then, like, these are just some they're kind of oily products. All right, so I don't have a brow product from them. I'm just gonna apply a bit of the Kosas brow pencil. Next, going in with their eye pencil. This is in the shade Brown. This is called the Best Pencil. It's supposed to be a precise, crisp line that glides on seamlessly and can be used with shadow on top or all by itself. Highly pigmented, this formula is based on 1970s. No frills, ultra dense formulas, but updated with a clean and modern ingredient stack. Blend it, smoke it, apply it as a sharp graphic line, as easy as it is effective. I'm just gonna do some simple liner here. I think I'll just smoke it out with my fingers a little bit. I'm not the best at eyeliner, so I'm not going to try to do any wing or anything too fancy. Okay, it definitely is very easy to like smudge out. I think if you love creating like a smoky eye and want an eyeliner that's like easy to like smoke out with your finger, I think this is something that you would like because it's very easy to blend it out after. Almost reminds me of like a multi-stick kind of product where you can just like easily blend it out. I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes. I feel bad because I feel like so far I'm not like super impressed with these products. And not that they're not good, I just think that they're maybe not the best for my specific skin type. And that's okay, you know, just because certain products don't work for certain skin types, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that they're better for other skin types, and there's nothing wrong with that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply the mascara. It comes in this big tube. The actual applicator itself is very arched, so I feel like hopefully this is gonna help with kind of lifting the lashes. A fundamental mascara, an inky ultra pigmented black mascara that is clean, cruelty-free, and conditioning, separates, lifts, and volumizes lashes in one fell swoop. Use a little to keep it natural or layered to go bold. A curved wand captures inner corner baby lashes and lengthens outer lashes, formulated for flexibility and softness. So let's go ahead and use this. Now I am a little bit worried with not setting the under eyes that this is gonna smudge, just because again we do have those oily kind of base products. This is lengthening really nice. It's kind of lifting the lashes a bit. It does look really pretty. Gives some nice volume, but also lifts the lashes a bit. Keeps them a little bit curled. So I'm just gonna put a little bit to the lower lashes. I don't want this to smudge though. I feel like this curved design too does really work well. Definitely helps to be able to reach the outer lashes really well, and also the inner corner lashes better. Okay, I like that. I'm, you know, curious again to see if it smudges. I do really want to like set my under eyes, but I also want you guys to see how these work on their own. So I'm gonna keep it for now. But on a normal day basis when I'm using this, especially if I'm using it with these other products, I would definitely want to set the under eyes. It looks really pretty. It's definitely lifting the lashes really nicely. Cool gloss. I have this in their original color, which is just a clear lip gloss shade, and I'm sure I will like this as long as it's not sticky. Okay, this feels quite nice. Actually has like a little bit of a cooling feeling, a slight minty. It looks really pretty on the lips, so it can kind of plump your lips up, give a nice gloss to your lips. It's a clear gloss. I feel like you can't go wrong with a clear gloss. It does have a minty feeling. It almost feels like it's like doing some kind of plumping with that cooling, which normally I'm not a huge fan of, like a plumping, cooling feeling. I feel like I sound so picky in this video, but I just have to be totally honest with my thoughts. Build a better lip gloss, the result and evolution of the form. Supposed to be lightweight and ultra moisturizing. Cool gloss melts into lips to plump and awaken with natural peppermint. Okay, yep, peppermint. Never tacky, sticky, or heavy. Cool gloss goes... Oh, my baby. Okay, let me get it. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh my goodness. It's just getting too lonely, huh? You just getting too lonely? Oh, my baby. Okay. This does feel, has like a peppermint feel. It's definitely not sticky. It does feel nice on the lips. If you're okay with having that cooling sensation, that's something to note. If you don't mind that, then cool. If you don't like a cooling or peppermint feeling on the lips, then you might not like this. It also says it can be tapped on cheeks for tint and high shine. Let's try that, because why not? Even though I definitely already have a glow going on, just with all of the other dewy products, I'm just gonna take a little bit and kind of tap it like a highlighter. Just give an extra shine. I don't think I like that, honestly, just because, you know, it feels too... I mean, it's not bad, but like on top of the other products, it just feels a little heavy. Also, a reason I don't think I'd want to put this on my cheeks is because now I'm starting to feel a cooling sensation on my cheeks. And I feel like that could be kind of irritating, especially if you have sensitive skin. So yeah, and that was like almost put kind of close to my eyes. Not right under my eyes, obviously, but since I put it at the top, whoa, since I put it at the top of my cheeks, it just has like cooling going on right here now. Obviously you don't have to do that. It's pretty as a gloss. I don't think I want to do that again. Oh, I just realized I totally forgot to apply eyeshadow. So I'm gonna take this shade here. This is their powder eyeshadow, and this is in the dark brown shade. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on a crease brush. You could definitely build up the pigment with this if you want. Like a nice matte shade. I think it's a nice eyeshadow. I don't feel like it's, you know, a whole lot different than other eyeshadows that I have, but it's a nice matte eyeshadow. I feel like it's easy to work with. It's easy to blend. Honestly, if I were going to pick up a variety of things from Jones Road, I would probably try out more of their powder products, just again because I think they'd work better for my skin type. But I hope this video did not sound too negative, but I just really wanted to give my honest thoughts As always, these are pretty. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very pretty. I love how just natural and glowy my skin looks. It's great for that no makeup look. It does look pretty. But again, if you have a dry skin or you really love glowy makeup, maybe your skin just really loves some good nourishing moisturizing products, then I think that you would potentially like these. But just for me, with my combination skin, and you know, somebody who is prone to acne, this is just kind of like a thicker, these are just thicker products than what I would typically go for. Like, I do think that they are really pretty. I just don't think that they're necessarily the best for my skin type. But like, I mean, I will say I do love how my skin looks right now. But yeah, I just don't think like on a day-to-day basis or all that often, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna reach for the Miracle Balm, just because they are heavier products than I personally prefer. And I don't really know about the foundation either. It's just a little bit heavy, a lot of oils for, again, my skin type. I do really like this brush. This is a very nice brush. It's super soft, it's nice and dense, great for applying foundation. But those are my overall thoughts. I really hope this didn't sound too negative, but I just wanted to share my honest thoughts. Again, like, I don't think that these are bad products. I just don't think that they're necessarily, you know, my personal preference or for particularly my specific skin type. But you know, if you like glowy dewy makeup, you might like these. So those are my overall thoughts. If you guys do want to check out anything that I talked about in today's video, I will have all of the products listed and linked in the description box below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And if you would like to see even more content from me in the future, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all for my next video. Bye guys.